You shut your mouth. Get close to me.
Oh, God. It hurt.
That's
Everyone
tight.
in? Alright.
Let's just start. Alright, good evening everybody. This is Cinema Heads. We have
Adrian.
John.
it's your boy Matt.
JP.
And I'm Gabe. Today we're going to be reviewing Extinction. It's a Netflix original movie. It's an action drama sci-fi. It's directed by Ben Young, and it has actors like Michael Pena, it has Lizzie Kaplan, and it has Mike Coulter, who plays Luke Cage in the Marvel series on Netflix as well.
There he does.
Alright, so we're going to get into the plot. So Michael Pena pretty much is a mechanic, and he's working on, seems to be a generator. That's pretty much the only job description they pretty much give us, alright, in the movie. Him and his wife, who is Lizzie Kaplan, I have a hard time saying that. They have 2 kids with them, and they end up having a party for her because she gets a promotion and invites a couple people to the house, and at this moment, aliens start falling from the sky. And then it creates this huge action thriller, pretty much. It moves from a drama straight to an action thriller and sci-fi. And then it has a very crazy particular ending, which, you know what, JP, what did you think about the ending? And explain the ending.
So the movie starts off with Michael Pena having dreams about Peter, his character Peter having dreams about being attacked by aliens, pretty much, which we kind of saw from the trailer of the video where aliens start attacking, and that's kind of the basis of the movie. And so they find out eventually down the line, his wife gets shot during one of the alien battles, and he takes her to a doctor, and they check her out, and he doesn't know what they're doing to him because she takes this like kind of, I don't know, like remote control almost kind of thing, and like shocks her almost, and he doesn't understand like why that's happening. And then it comes to find out that actually the people that are coming down are not aliens, they're humans, and they are actually synthetic humans, so they're all basically robots or synths, whatever you want to call them. And they actually took over the planet, and the humans are trying to recapture the planet, and that's the huge kind of twist at the end of the movie.
So it's almost kind of like iRobot, right?
In
In
a
a
way.
sense, because the robot ends up getting feelings,
Yeah,
stuff like that.
more in the robot's point of view,
Yeah.
not the.
All right. Well, with Michael Pena being the main lead of this movie, and he mainly does comedy movies. I mean, he does do serious movies. He was in that movie with Jake Gyllenhaal, and it was about cops, and it was a serious flick. But for the most part, he does comedy, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. So, Adrian, what did you think about his role in this movie? More of a dramatic, lead action role for him.
I'm actually a big fan of Michael Pena. Like I said, he was in most of the stuff that he does is, especially lately, he's been in a lot of comedies. But he was in Crash. He's in that. What is that cop movie called with him and Jake Gyllenhaal? I can't remember what it's called, but it's very, very good. I think his performance in this movie is really good. At first, you're kind of confused on what's going on because he's just from what you see, he's just an ordinary father, his wife and 2 kids, and then he kind of goes into this action hero almost. Once the aliens come down and he's fighting against them, it's like he knows exactly what he's doing. So there's some mystery in that. Then, like JP pointed out earlier, the twist, so you see why he can fight everything off. But I think I'm a big Michael Pena fan. His performance was actually, I thought it was really good in this. His range is very good. He could pull off a lot of different roles for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
So he was good at this.
I agree. I was pretty surprised with how because like you said, he's been in other dramatic movies, but I don't think I've ever seen him besides Ant-Man technically be an action star. So it was kind of different to see him
that was
transition
pretty good.
to
I think
that.
he did good.
I think he did too. So Jonathan, the so-called aliens that are humans, their suits. What did you think about their suits?
I thought it was very convincing that they were aliens. You know, it didn't look human-made at all. and the weapons that they used didn't seem like it was like a machine gun
Yeah.
or anything. But yeah, the suits were really, really convincing that they weren't human. That's why it worked so much with the twist. Especially when you beat the crap out of that alien.
Like, what did you think about the guns being like? Weren't they augmented to the person?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they were
Because then you
basically
had
like
to fix it to get it off of
they
that
were
like mode.
like bio connected to the person, so only the person that had like the
Right.
DNA to shoot the gun with their finger could shoot it.
Yeah. It's
So-
definitely based like in the future for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that kind of leads into my next question for Matt. Do you think there'll be a sequel to this due to, one, the way it ended? I mean, it kind of went basically like it was going to have a sequel. But two, do you think a sequel would be necessary to explain more? Because, again, like you said, it's based in the future, but the technology that humans had to leave the planet, come back into the planet, what, where did they stay? What did they do? How did they get the technology to have guns like that where they were fingerprint activated and that type of stuff? Do you think we should get a sequel?
Well, I mean, the guns and stuff, it's not that hard to see that far in the future. It's really not to have a fingerprinted into the future. I mean, if they're building synthetic robots like this, I'm sure they can easily build guns. The thing that needs to be explained a little more, which could be explained more in the second one, is how the humans lost the war. Because it was a huge war between the androids or the synthetics and the humans, and somehow the humans lost and the synthetics took over planet Earth, and then we had to leave. So what happened during that? So if there was a sequel, which I do believe there's going to be a sequel, I think it did pretty good. I think Rotten Tomatoes gave it an 80 or something like that. I had it pulled up, I don't remember, but it did pretty good. I think there will definitely be a sequel, explain more of the backstory,
Or maybe do
probably
a prequel.
A prequel, yeah.
or a prequel,
Yeah.
and then probably going into another war, because that's what it seems like. It's going to go to another war.
Yeah, because honestly, writing off of what you just said, like, in the movie when it showcases them actually starting the fight, none of the robots or synthetic humans really know how to fire a gun or anything like that. And then all of a sudden they're just like there's a scene where they see the children and Michael Pena, like, they're outside and he like shoots a gun and then all of a sudden he's just like in beast mode. Like he's just like, oh, I know how to shoot a gun. I'm good, and everybody, they're like throwing guns to each other, like, yeah, we got this. But it's kind of like, it doesn't really explain, like,
Yeah, it doesn't.
like,
Right.
it looks like he shot a gun and he was like, huh,
Yeah.
freaked out, and then all of a sudden it just went from that to straight, like, I can do
The
whatever.
movie does kind of cover that a bit, because there is a part with the twist where they find out that his dreams aren't actually dreams.
Right.
They were memories, but they were erasing their previous memories because they wanted to forget about the war and all of the issues that came from it, all the emotional problems, because the synthetic humans, they have memories, they have emotions, they learn just like humans do, because that's how advanced the AI is in the movie. So it explains that those are memories of them because they've been alive for, the 400 years, because since they can live for a lot longer, of course, but that they actually have memories of the first time the humans attacked and tried to retake the planet, and this is actually the second time that they're doing it.
So their kids are actually not their kids. They're two kids that they found.
No, well, they're
two
they're
kids are
synthetic.
synthetics also.
Yeah, they're synthetic also. It's just, so after they did the human synthetics, basically they did the human synthetics so that they didn't have to work. They didn't have to do like the grunt
Right.
labor work of being a human. And then they created children, also just for people to have children
Right.
that weren't their own. Well, so they didn't have to go through childbirth, I'm
Right.
assuming. But yeah, so keep going. But they found these two synthetic children. And
Right. So they find well, I guess Michael Pena and Capelin, they like fall in love, right? So they're still trying to figure out their emotions, and then I think by the time they get to that point where it's like, okay, we want to be together, they see two kids during the war, and then I think that like is it two little girls?
Yeah.
It's two little girls, and the oldest one, like, her eyes messed up, and you can see like she's a robot, obviously, and so they kind of take them in, they mess around with their memory, and then so they just remember themselves just being a family.
Well, they also killed their human parents too. The two
Right,
robot
yeah.
synthetics
So I
killed
think
their
the humans they're mad because the robots are taking their jobs.
No, the
that
humans
what
are
it's
getting
about?
mad
Yeah.
because they're afraid they're getting feelings and they're going to take over the world.
Yeah.
Where does it stop? They're taking our jobs, endangering our lives.
Yeah. So
Because
like
while
it
he's
literally
sitting there cleaning the
is.
thing,
Yeah.
they talking about it in the back.
It literally
Okay,
is
yeah.
like a apocalyptic.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
like, oh, you know, like they're gonna take over.
Right.
So we do, and it becomes like almost like a racially like thing because they don't want them to be working.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
And that type of stuff. I mean, so I guess one of the main questions that I want to ask all four of you guys, instead of just like individual, is one: do you think humans are right, or do you think the robots are right? And what's all going on?
Oh wow.
Start with JP.
There you go.
Well, honestly, I think it's kind of a story on what happens when humans try to play God and make their own creations. So we have to be kind of responsible for our own actions by creating the synths and giving them their own emotions and their own feelings. So it's honestly, to me, I feel like it's the humans that are at fault because they're the ones that created this life, and now they have to deal with the consequences of that. So
What do you think, Matt?
It comes down to people are so afraid of the unknown, and people are so afraid of things that are new. It becomes a problem. You know, so these things we're learning, they were trying to be human, and it scared people because they didn't know what was going to happen. And that's what always happens. I mean, in every generation, any time in the timeline, it's always the unknown or something you can't explain. Whether it's, you know, these synthetics are going to attack us or not. Nobody knew if they're going to attack us or not. We started it by saying they were going to attack us. We were afraid of them. We wanted to shut them down, and then they came attack us. So I kind of sided with the synthetics on that one.
What about you?
Okay, so my thing is you can't expect to make something and then have it do your work and then say, hey, they're taking all of our jobs, and then expect them to be shut down.
Yeah.
So it's the humans' fault because they're the ones that said, hey, let's make these robots, they'll work for us, and then they're just complaining that they don't have any work. So it's the humans' fault.
So it's Wally.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, I agree with JP. I mean, it's obviously the humans' fault. You know, if you didn't want people taking your jobs or anything causing a threat to you know, mankind, then you shouldn't have built robots to do your job. Lazy.
Yeah.
Lazy America.
And actually, I mean, I brought up Wally as being a joke, but I mean, technically,
it's a similar story.
it is because basically humans are just getting tired. Like, if I don't want to vacuum, we have. I mean, I don't personally have it, but we have little robots that will vacuum the floor and you can set a timer and stuff like that. And it's almost like, in a sense, close to Jurassic Park. Like, if you think about it, you bring these people in to help you or for an attraction or something like that. You don't know how they're going to react to a world that they've never seen before.
Right.
And even though they're a robot, they're AI, and you can program them to believe, like, hey, you know, this is what you're programmed to do. If they're artificial intelligence, they're going to see other people doing other things. So they're going to be like, well, why can't I do that? And then they're going to start drifting off into different things. And then, kind of like Matt says, like, they're just going to start wanting to do more and more and more. And then it's going to cause an issue with humans being like, no, that's me. That's what I'm supposed to do, you know? So, all in all, I mean, I rated it personally. We'll get all your guys' rating, but I gave it an 8 out of 10 for a Netflix film.
Yeah.
Just because the twist at the end brought my score up. The acting was actually pretty decent. The story was pretty good. It was a little bit slow to develop, just because the flashbacks were kind of like, you know, it left you so much like, what the hell's going on? You know, what's going on? But that's what I gave it personally. So what did you give it?
Yeah, I think for a Netflix film, I would give it an 8. I felt like the budget wasn't very big.
Yeah,
I
it kind of
like,
stayed in one area.
Yeah, it stayed in one area. Then like kind of the special effects, like they weren't great, but it wasn't bad. Like they kept everything well done. The costumes were really good. So I would probably give it, for a Netflix film, I'd give it 8 out of 10. Michael Pena is great in it. Capelin. I'm so sorry. I forget her name, but she's great. She's a good actress too. So yeah, I think it was really good. Like I said, the twist is great. And I was actually kind of surprised. I didn't think it was going to be that good. So yeah, I'd give it an 8 out of 10.
Give it like a 7 out of 10.
Okay.
We've seen some Netflix films do slightly better, like was it Bright? With
Oh,
Will Smith.
yeah.
That one was
I like that
one
one.
was a really good film. But yeah, you guys said it hit a bunch of points. It was slow at the beginning, so I don't know. I just think it deserves 7.
Shay?
I'd honestly give it a 9 out of 10. I thought it was a great movie. I like movies that make you think, and this gives you a lot of stuff, like on an intellectual level, to think about as far as, you know, humans creating robots and AI and all the things, because this is happening in our real world right now, and how it could affect us in the future, and it just gives you a lot to think about, and I think it's really that kind of movie I like. It's definitely the best Netflix movie I've ever seen, in my opinion.
All right, Matt, tell us what you thought, and then give us that beautiful, beautiful outro.
You know, I'm gonna go ahead and give this a 7.5, and I'm gonna disagree with a lot of you guys saying the acting was good. I thought the acting was, no pun necessary, very robotic. I don't know if it was supposed to be like that or not, but a lot of his acting was very robotic and very slow and just not personable, and I didn't like his acting or her acting. And the thing with these movies that drives me up a wall, and even it is just synthetics, maybe that's why, but when we have big apocalyptic movies, there is nobody around. They get on the streets, and where's anybody on the streets? There's only literally 4 people on the streets other than the little group that got shot. Like, that's apocalyptic movies every time like that just drive me up the wall. Like, you hear somebody getting shot but never see anybody else floating around anywhere. That's just movies like this. But it was all in all, is a good movie. I would recommend it.
Okay, one thing to comment off of the acting being so like robotic. I feel like movies can still be great even with that, because I mean, we all seen Gone Girl,
Yes.
and Ben Affleck's acting in that was even more robotic, and he was just a normal human.
That movie was great.
Whereas these people, they are supposed to be synthetic, so like his responses are always like very short. They're just like, I'm good, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's probably why it came out like that, but can it carry a whole movie? I mean, I don't know. Like, that's why I said it was kind of slow, like, honestly. But, I mean, again, once it starts picking up, then it starts getting more interesting, and then it starts getting more exciting. So, I can agree.
I'd recommend this movie for sure.
Yeah. All right, man.
This, of course, has been Cinema Heads, the review you deserve and the comedy you need. If you liked everything that you saw today, please give us that thumbs up. Make sure you like us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We're doing big things out there. And of course, this video is boom done.
Cheers.
Whoa, the video's over already? Well, if you want to see more, why don't you click that notification button and that subscribe button. And if you really liked it, give us a thumbs up.
Cut.